So I have to say I've loved Justified since season 1, and I really love your character, but I hate that you don't get as much screen time because I'm so interested in your backstory. Now, are we going to get to see some of your backstory in season 4? Like how you got into the Marshal service?
Not so much.
No?
We'll hear a little bit about what's going on in HOMELAND. There's a suggestion that there's trouble in paradise, which may, explain some of her behavior this year. But that's about it. I'm like you. I want to know more too.
Yes, I love your character. I want to know how she got into the Marshal service. I want to know, where she learned how to shoot, where she gets that anger from, because there's that hidden anger that I can see burgeoning under the surface. Now, you have some confrontation a little bit with Raylan in the first episode. Like, where are you going? What are you doing? Should I know something?
Yeah, I think Rachel is frustrated at this point that, there seems to be a set of rules and then there are rules for Raylan. And for someone who's so by the book, she's just like, you know what, I'm over it.
Yeah.
So there's an implosion of sorts that I feel is beginning to happen with her. And like I said, there's something going on at home with her that will explain a little bit by, why she's been on edge these last couple of seasons. And, she makes a decision to do something and she realizes that there are her set of consequences. And if Raylan had done the same thing, there would have been a different set of consequences.
Oh my God, I'm excited now. You got me salivating over here. Well, I am so excited for the season. You look gorgeous tonight.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
See you out here in the cold.
I know. This started here. So I saw you on True Blood. That was really a crazy season.
I know, man. She's crazy. Crystal was crazy.
Yeah. So now you come in on Justified, and you play Cassie, the sister to Preacher Billy.
That's right.
But you're the mastermind behind it all.
I do. I have some secrets.
Yes. I could see that in your eye when Boyd comes in.
Yes, it's fun to be able to play a couple different angles of this character.
Yeah.
She comes across as very sweet and Christian, God-fearing girl, and then to be able to play, kind of she pulls out some secrets. It's fun.
Yeah, when Boyd confronts Billy, and I could see this look in your eye, like you're like, no way.
Don't mess with my brother.
Yeah, you're like this. No, you're not going to do this.
My church.
Exactly. So how did this role come about? Did you audition? How did?
Well, I met with, I worked with Michael Dinner, who's one of the creators of Justified. I worked with him on The Beavers, Patrick Swayze's last show.
Yes.
He asked me to come back and be on Justified for the season, and it's been a dream come true. I love the show. It's so fun.
It is. It's an amazing show. Well, I'm so happy to see you on the season. I'm so excited to see what your character is going to do. The confrontation between you and Boyd, I think, is going to be an epic one.
Yeah, Walton Goggins is an amazing actor. So fun to work with.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Good. Now, I see you in the first episode. You and Raylan get a little tussle going on.
My character Jody and Raylan do not see eye to eye.
Yeah, so now you have just broken out of prison? Is that...
No, I didn't break out of prison. I broke parole.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And got caught.
The audio on the screener was a little off for me, so I couldn't tell if you broke out or if something else happened. But so you bring some goodies for your family. She's not letting you in.
My wife doesn't let, well, my ex-wife, sorry, she doesn't let me in the house, and we have great conflict about that. And
yeah.
Here comes Raylan messing things up as usual.
Right? Doing his job as a U.S. Marshal. How dare he?
How dare you do your job and arrest the criminals?
Right? Now, so how many episodes are you going to be in?
Just two.
Just two?
Yeah. But they're two very good ones. The one later on is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was very fun, and that one is like...
Yeah, you seemed like a very formidable ally against Raylan. He usually has to jump on everybody, but...
Yeah, I don't believe he has to jump on Joe.
Right. Yeah. Well, it was great meeting you.
You as well.
Look forward to the next episode you're in.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't see that stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. I've been a huge fan of the show since season 1. Now, this season, Art is facing possible retirement.
Yeah, there's a mandatory retirement age in the U.S. Marshal Service.
But he still seems spry and ornery. I love that about him.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's about this year for Art. Is he going to appeal it or accept it, or does he really want to stay a marshal, or does he want to go off fishing? You know?
He wants to keep the marshal woody.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that line when you were saying that in this first episode. I was like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of it, so you've seen more of it than I have.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2 episodes, and I have to say I'm really excited for the season because it seems like Justified is taking a different turn than it has been the past seasons. It seems like things are going a little bit different, especially with Preacher Billy coming in.
More of a big storyline this year than it is a big villain this year.
Yeah.
So there's a big mystery hanging over the whole thing.
Definitely. Well, I'm very excited for the season. I can't wait to see any more one-liners from Art coming out.
Thanks. I'm sure there'll be a few.
Yeah. Thank you. It's on now. I met you a couple years ago on a set visit. I'm sure you've met so many people. But I'm Judy. I was from Columbus, Georgia, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I really, I have really enjoyed the transformation of Ava. She had such an aversion to the Crowder family, and now she is cozied up with Boyd like nobody's business. Now, how do you take your character's evolution, into play, like when you,
Luckily, it happened slowly for us on the show. I mean, I think the second season was a whole, change where they met each other as new people. Ava just decided she knew where she wanted to be in life, and Boyd had come out of the whole religion thing. I believe it was 13. Sorry.
Yeah.
But, so they really got to grow and develop as these new, stronger people. And then within that, they found love, respect, and romance, which she's never really had respected relationship before. Relationship where she received respect. And they get to grow together in that way. I mean, she's now in this season learning how to live in that world.
Yeah, it's like a cutthroat world, and she is wielding a shotgun
She's strong, she's fearless, and
and she is backhanding hoes.
Yep.
I never thought Ava would be the pimp.
No, I know, and I like to think that the only reason she would have done that is because it was to try to save Boyd
from doing something more dangerous.
Well, to get the truth out, that she was so angry, and she really thought at that moment she'd lost him forever, and it was because of this woman.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of
jealousy.
I think a little bit of not quite right in the head, just pure anger.
So now, what are we going to see this season with Ava's character? Are we going to see her be even more ruthless?
Well, I mean, you come and you meet Ava this season. She's a businesswoman. She's running the whorehouse. So she's kind of really embracing that, and she's embraced Walton, Boyd, full on, and they're in a great place. And then she has to make a decision halfway through that really shakes her moral compass, and she has to learn how to live with that. And it comes around to bite her in the ass in the end. So poor Ava's being put through yet another ringer.
Yeah, because I know there may be some conflict or a conflict of interest, especially since his friend from the Kuwait War has come over, Colton.
Yeah, there's new people that come into their relationship, and so to speak, into their world, and there's circumstances that they have different opinions about, and there's also romance.
Well, I'm excited. I can't wait.
It might happen in the romance.
Oh, is that a scoop?
That might be a scoop. I haven't told anyone else on the red carpet.
Oh. I'm excited. Thank you so much. I love you. Bye. So Arlo's been kind of a spry, ornery character since the get-go. And in this first episode, you really just go all out. And you become even worse. You kill a man. How did that make you feel? Because Arlo's not really the type of person that's been a killer.
I wouldn't go that far.
You don't think?
I've killed another person, too.
Self-defense?
I killed a policeman.
Well, yeah.
And I'm a criminal.
And that was one story arc that really threw me for a loop at the end of last season when you were trying to kill that policeman in a hat and referencing possibly you were hoping it was Raylan.
Yeah.
Now that relationship between you and your son, is that going to get even more estranged this season?
Yes. You know, Arlo doesn't follow rules. He's not a conventional character. He's an anarchist. And he does what impulse tells him to do. He doesn't think about his actions. He's not what you would call a moral person.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his own code of ethics, and they work for him according to the rules of survival. It's a poor environment, Harlan County, and he does what he can to survive. And if he has to break the law, he's going to do it. If he's got to kill somebody, he'll do it. And it's not nice.
Yeah. So now this killing that you've just done recently in the prison, that's going to be a bigger story arc in the season, correct?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. This season looks amazing. I'm so excited for the season.
I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be part of it.
Well, I'm happy that you're here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm Terry with Spin-Off Online. So I feel like this whole bounty hunter side storyline can't necessarily end well. Is that a fair assessment?
You know, everything, all's well that ends well, as they say.
Yeah.
So the question, is it a good idea? Perhaps not. But, you know, we'd like to think that we're going to have a show. It's going to work out somehow.
Okay. Now also the whole,
But yeah, it goes pretty bad.
Well, Raymond always seems to land on its feet, and we wouldn't really have a show without
That's what they tell me, yeah.
Is there going to be anything that maybe, you know, throws him off balance a little bit this season?
You know, we always look for the unexpected. We look for the unexpected and yet the inevitable. And so hopefully that's where it takes us.
Well, the whole storyline with your dad, I heard from Raymond, maybe like a couple episodes in, that, like episode 4, that gets brought up, you said?
I'm sorry, what about Arlo?
About how he tried to shoot Raylan or he thought that he did, because he chose Boyd over him. And that we're finally, because we haven't dealt with that at all so far in the first 2 episodes.
No.
Do we deal with that? Does Raylan come out and...
You know, he's only going to deal with it so much, but I think it's alive underneath everything, you know, the fact that, you know, everybody knows what happened and it's there, but guys like Raylan don't talk about that kind of shit. And the trick for us is how do you maintain that kind of a character and yet still continue to find him an interesting, puzzling kind of character.
He obviously has like a complicated relationship with Boyd, but are we going to see this complicated anymore, or is he just sort of going to internalize
no, it never gets any better.
Cryptic.
Are we going to get to the bottom of why Raylan is doing this side job of doing the bounty hunting?
Well, he's got a kid on the way. I think he says it as much in the show. He's got a kid on the way. He's trying to make some extra cash. He's living above a bar. I think he's, in some ways, just got him thinking about putting something aside and, you know, not living so day to day.
Do you think he's ever going to want to get out of this?
He just doesn't know how to do it. That's the problem.
That's always the problem.
Because he's been a marshal for so long, he doesn't really know.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
That's there lies the problem.
Is there anything that is going to be introduced later on in the season that we haven't seen yet that's going to create an interesting conflict for Raylan?
Yeah, no, throughout. We've got it really is, we're shooting episode 8 now, and I look back at the stories we had in episode 3 and 4, and it seems like a lifetime ago. There's just so much going on this year. It's a really interesting season.
And you meet Lindsay's husband.
Yeah, well,
sort of.
Yeah.
Timothy, can I ask you, how has your character in the show evolved as far as the writing and the crafting of the story?
Well, it's stayed consistent. I mean, in that I'm just as entertained and interested, you know, going to work as I was when we first started.
No, I heard that it's anticipated that maybe this is just by the last 6 seasons. Do you have any idea of how it could potentially end? That's not too far away.
Right now, my calendar's got us going a couple more weeks, and after that, we go from there.
All right.
I've been in show business a long time. You start making plans, you're fucked.
Is there another movie in the works for you?
Timothy,
I'd like to think so.
Online.
How you doing?
Hi, I'm Judy.
Hi, Judy.
I'm Dan.
Hey,
We're
how
doing
are
a
you?
group thing.
So what do we have to look forward to this season?
Intrigue, violence.
What? Unjustified?
Yeah, well, yeah.
More so
Yeah,
than in
I don't know if you'd say more so, but new and improved. It's and a lot of shifting allegiances. That's always good.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it's interesting that there's no big bad this season after having such a big one last season. How does that sort of change the dynamic?
I wouldn't necessarily say there's no big bad.
Maybe
It
just one we
may
haven't
just
mentioned?
not, people may not know who he or she is for a while.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of big secrets this season, and I'm working my way through the minefield trying not to reveal any of them.
You did a good job by speaking very vague.
Vague, I do well.
And Shelby seems to be up to his eyeballs with the Lloyd. He's pretty much done with taking the orders that he's been taking from.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big dynamic this season.
I'm looking forward to that.
How Boyd deals with the fact that Shelby's not under his thumb anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be. I don't think he's happy about it.
Now, talking about your other show, Supernatural, I saw Bobby. He's in limbo. Are you going to be going back to Supernatural?
It's supernatural. Anything can happen.
Right?
I mean,
I'm excited to see you on this show, but at the same time,
well, it's.
I love Bob.
You know, nobody's ever dead on that show.
Yeah, right.
And I think. You know, if I were a betting man, I'd say yeah, eventually. But I don't know anything. Not yet. So.
Well, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You guys take care.
Love the show.
Hey, well.
I did an episode.
You're at the very end.
At the very end, we're going to do a group it up.
Thank you so much for
I have a question for you.
Yes.
My site is Act 4 Screenplays, and my readers are screenwriters.
Oh my God.
And you have some of the greatest dialogue ever written for you.
I am a lucky man.
You've been on The Shield and Justified, which have great writers.
Yeah.
How is that as an actor? I mean, what do you look for?
You know, I probably have more screenwriter friends than I do actor friends, to be quite honest with you. I am so enamored with the process that writers go through and generating ideas while you're staring at a blank piece of paper is something that still confounds me. So you know, to be on this show now, where Elmore Leonard's dialogue is so much about poetry, it's so much about what's being said as opposed to actually what's going on around you. You know, it's an actor's dream. I mean, I could sit and watch these scenes. These scenes could be 20 pages long, as far as I'm concerned. I just love the dialogue so much. Graham and Chris Provenzano, Ben Tazel, all of them, Dave Antron, all these guys are just at the top of their game. Taylor Elmore, all of them.
Boyd Crowder's such a contradiction. You know, he seemed like he actually was devout and religious for a couple seasons. Do you think he really believes?
Oh, I think he believes, you know, for sure. Yeah, but I think he's a man in transition, and you know, he's a man who lives in extremes, and his journey will be one of equilibrium, you know, hopefully. So I'm very excited about it. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
So much.
Great.
Thank you.
One question. Come on, man.
I want to know, has he ever been able, how will he approach Preacher Billy as a villain?
Oh, you know, who? How Boyd will approach him?
Yeah. Is he anyone he's ever faced before?
Yes and no. Is he like anyone he's ever faced before? Yes, in the sense that he's totally proud of him.
Right.
I've got one question for you. Are we going to see Venus Van Dam again?
Oh, you'll see her again.
I loved it.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you.